All right, super fast update today. Well, as super fast as I can. It's quite a bit going on. I'm going to skip yesterday. Yesterday was such a good day. Had a long talk with a good friend, Brother Ignatius Harding, and it just was spectacular. And on many fronts, on Haiti Scholarships fronts, on Positive Ripples fronts, on Bon Respond front, on every other Everyone Matters front, you name it, everyone's important front. All of this stuff. All came together really well. Had a long conversation. I'm going to skip that. Going to jump to today. Mainly good, I guess. Mainly good today. And we're going to focus on Mohammed. There's two Mohammeds. I'm not going to give away a whole lot on either one of them, except that they're both from Gaza. One's young. Well, they're both young compared to me, but they're both relatively young. One's 5 months old, and one's in his 20s. The one in his 20s, I was talking with him, and he speaks English, and it's great. He's very educated, very successful before the war, and has lost pretty much everything since the war. Horrific, just horrific. In the middle of the talk, and we're laying out what we can do in the future and how we can work together on things, and want to do a podcast with him. And then in the middle of this, I get a message from Ali, who is the baby Mohammed's brother, and he sends a picture of Mohammed, and baby Mohammed is the one that we helped back, 3-4 weeks ago, something like that, have surgery. Well, the surgery went well. That's it. We got that. The surgery went well. The problem now is malnutrition is starting to really take a toll. And so texted a couple of my friends, and we all went together and sent some money over. Not Positive Ripples, not Bon Responds. We know that whole disclaimer. Every time I send money, I have to talk about it. But it was just a couple people doing it. No tax deduction, nothing like that. So everyone relax. And yeah, so when I interrupted the other Mohammed to speak with the baby Mohammed's family, I said, hey, I'll get back to you. And I sort of just briefly told the story, person with malnutrition, kid, baby, it's really bad, et cetera. And I said, I know literally that it's everywhere there. And he said the same thing. And basically, to get off the phone quickly, I said, do you know the Starfish story, with his expectation, him not knowing the Starfish story? And I get off the phone. They're off the text thread, show him the other text thread, and all of a sudden I go back, and he said, of course I know the Starfish story, and he proceeded to tell the story when he was in college and getting his graduate degree, and I'm going to put he's in the health care field. I'm not going to say exactly which kind, because I don't want to put anyone out, and I'm going to keep the name pretty, I don't want to tell what he does. But he said his advice, he often had to work out in the field, and he always took people to help that couldn't afford it, and he was basically volunteering for them and sometimes having to pay for things for them. His advisor said, whoa, you remind me of the Starfish kid. So he knew it instantly. Not only do we both bond before that, talking about all the things that we might be able to do in the future, et cetera, we both love the Starfish story. So if you don't know the Starfish story, here's the Starfish story. Little kids walking along the beach, and there's thousands of starfish laying there, and they're all dying because they're not in the water. And the little kid starts throwing them one by one into the ocean, back in, so that they can live. And then an elderly gentleman walks along and said, what are you doing? That's stupid. You can't help them all. What's the point? And the kid looked at him for a second, bent down, picked up a starfish, threw it back in the water. I helped that kid. I helped that one. And in a world where we are overwhelmed with requests from everywhere in the Middle East to down the street to around, North Carolina, Florida, California, everywhere else, Haiti, Sierra Leone, the Bahamas, Peru, Bolivia. I mean, the list is long of everywhere. That's the easiest way to say. Everyone on earth needs help. Everywhere people need help at some point in their lives. And we can't do it all. And, you know, better not perfect only goes so far. And I think the Starfish story helps keep me, I guess you want to call it grounded, sane. Okay, debatably sane, relatively sane. Because I say no many, many, many more times than I say yes. It just has to be the case. And we'd go bankrupt. And when I do help someone, it's, you know, it's that one. Or when we help someone, it's that one. And there are others, but there are always others. And maybe if everyone joined in and threw 1 or 2 starfish in, I think we would get through, most everyone would be helped. So starfish story, and I loved it because there was a connection to Gaza on the starfish story. So anyways, that's it. Promise to keep it shorter, under 6 minutes. Love you all. Have a great day. Keep working. And reminder number 1400, be more like Patrick.